Hey everyone, it's AYBL Main here. This is my series, AYBL Main's Top 5 series for albums, songs, movies, and the like. I'll be counting down those things, or at least ranking those things as I go along. Please take time to hit the red subscribe button down below. Please leave comments, maybe your top 5 in each particular category. That would be kind of cool. And whether you like or dislike the video. Other than that, guys, let's just sit back and enjoy and plug away at this series. I appreciate it. So yeah, hey everyone, it's AYBL Main, and I'm going to do something a little bit different today. I'm going to go with a top 5 albums of Kanye West. Now, if anybody knows me at all, they know that I have this love-hate relationship with Kanye. I think he's a musical genius, great rapper. He's definitely a wonderful producer. Got a great ear for music, but he's also a little batshit crazy, and his personal life has always been one of disarray because he just simply refuses to take medication for definitely a bipolar type disorder. But we're just going to focus on his music here, put all that other stuff aside, and just talk about what he actually does in the studios. So for his number 5 album, what I've got, in my opinion, I've got The Life of Pablo. It's his 7th studio album. It's got a basically a production by committee situation. It got nominated for multiple Grammys. Didn't get nominated for Best Album, which I kind of agree with when I looked at the album list that was nominated in that particular year. The song Famous is good. Fade. Also, FML is a big song that I like. It features the Weeknd, and there's a nice the song Hit has an interpolation from Section 5 on that, so that's really great. It went 2 times platinum, which is not a minor thing for hip-hop albums, and particularly once you start getting into the middle of the 2010s, where streaming becomes a factor, and obviously illegal downloads as well. So number 4 for me, I've got Graduation, which is his 3rd album, which kind of tries to follow in line with what he was doing with the College Dropout and Late Registration. This one here was mostly produced by Kanye himself. Can't Tell Me Nothing's a really great track on there. Stronger, which everybody will know is kind of an interpolation of a Daft Punk song. I thought it was kind of neat that he was, going across genres to get some of his music. It's really great. I really like that. Connie Mitchell sings on several tracks on this album, so you'll hear her wonderful voice several times throughout that. It's good because I think in this instance he had a little bit of what he had on the prior albums, but he was also starting to experiment a little bit more, and you could see where maybe he was taking himself musically for the next couple albums that would come up. So I really like the album, just not in that top tier albums of the absolute best. So number 3 is going to be Late Registration, which is the 2nd album, which is almost like him trying to repeat what he did on the first album. He didn't quite succeed as much. I still think it's a really strong album. It's going to be, if I had a top 100 hip hop albums, it's probably going to make it into the top 100. So I like Diamonds of the Sierra Leone is very good. Obviously, Touch the Sky. Gold Digger's really big, obviously, because it has Jamie Foxx doing an interpolation of Ray Charles's song I Got a Woman. So everybody kind of knows that song anyway. So it was ranked number 117 on Rolling Stone's top 500 albums of all time, which I think is too high for this album. It's not that it's not a great album, it's a great hip hop album, but it's not amongst those top 500 albums of all time that high. Maybe I would have it in the top 500, but not at 117. That's just way too high. So number 2, what I've got is My Beautiful Dark Twisted Fantasy, which many consider to be the best album of the 2010s. Not sure I'd go that far, but I would definitely have this album probably in the top 10 albums for that decade for sure. It is a very, very strong album. The song Monster is really good. I like the lead off track Dark Fantasy. Obviously Power, which has that great King Crimson sample that they use. Also samples Afro America, their song Continent Number 6. If you get a chance to research that, you should. Very good. It's number 17 on Rolling Stone's top 500. Again, way too high. I mean, it's a really great album, probably in the top 250 for me, but not in the top 20 for the best albums of all time. It's just not that kind of album. So they way overshot it in that case. But definitely the number one album for me for Kanye is going to be the College Dropout, his debut album, which just knocked me right off my feet because I had never listened to Kanye West before. I got a recommendation from Trey Holmes over on Reactions to the Classics. We had a couple conversations, and he said that I should listen to it, that I definitely need to listen to it. So I did, and it's probably one of the best albums for sampling that I have ever heard. I mean, the mixing on this is just great. Kanye himself produces all by himself on the album. I would consider this probably the closest thing to progressive rap that you're going to get. The skits are wonderful in there, kind of ties everything together. Two Words is a great track on there. Samples Mandrill. Also, I think The Fifth Dimension is sampled in that song. Never Let You Down is a great track. It samples Blackjack's song by the same name back in the early 80s, who has the lead singer. Michael Bolton was the lead singer of that band at the time. Spaceship uses a sample from Marvin Gaye, which is a Distant Lover, if I recall. And also my favorite track on there is School Spirit, which people have heard me talk about several times. It samples Aretha Franklin's Spirit in the Dark from her 1970 album of the same name. He only could use her song under the condition that there was no cuss words in the song, no swearing, and it was the only time that he actually never swore in any of his songs on that album, so it's really great. There's no doubt about it that he's a genius, despite all of his personal problems on the outside. So that's what I've got for the top 5 for Kanye. I'll try to spend my 2015 album reviews on maybe Thursday or Friday. Until then, you guys take care. Thanks.